Pero yung sinasabi ng law is habang tumatagal, lalong sumasarap. Hi guys, welcome back. So for today, sasagutin natin ang age-old question na can money buy happiness? And spoiler alert, the answer is yes if you spend it right. In this video, i-share ko sa inyo ang 3 ways to effectively use money to increase happiness, not based on assumptions, but based on science. So lahat ng pag-uusapan natin in this video are based on a research I found online, and interesting siya kasi it challenges the typical research about the correlation or connection between money and happiness. Yung mga typical research kasi about money and happiness, they tend to look for a magic number or magic formula that tells you kung magkano ba yung kailangan mo to be happy or to be content. Pero for today, this research talks about how people should spend their money instead of how much they should have. So in other words, mas mag-focus daw tayo sa how versus sa how much. So according to the study, once na-meet daw ng isang tao ang mga primary needs niya like food, shelter, clothing, education, purchasing additional possessions does not increase happiness in the long run. Sa economics, this is what they refer to as law of diminishing returns, or dun sa paper, tawag nila dito is marginal utility. Ang ibig sabihin ng law na ito is sure, more money can be associated with more happiness, pero habang tumataas daw ang income, the effect of additional income decreases in magnitude. So for example, nabigyan ka ng salary increase this year na 2,000 pesos, and then next year 2,000 ulit, and then the year after that, and then the year after that. Yung 2,000 pesos is arbitrary lang and contrived example yan, so that can be 500 or it can be 10,000 pesos. Pero yung point is, sino ba namang hindi matutuwa sa salary increase, di ba? Pero habang tumatagal daw, nababawasan yung positive emotions associated or satisfaction na associated doon sa additional income. Pero given that, instead of dialing down on factors that are outside of our control, like yun nga yung pagbibigay ng salary increase sa atin ng employers natin, meron pa rin mga choices that we can make out of our own volition or free will that will contribute towards our own satisfaction and happiness. Isa na dyan ang pro-social spending. Pro-social spending is proactively choosing to spend our own money para makapagpasaya o makapagbigay ng value sa mga tao sa paligid natin in hopes of improving our interpersonal relationships with them. Common knowledge naman para sa atin na kapag genuine tayo sa panlilibre o pagsispend ng money para sa ibang tao, nagiging two-way effect siya kasi sumaya na yung libre natin, sumasaya din tayo. So one of the ways that the researchers used or tested this idea is by doing an experiment. Nag-approach sila ng random college students in a university in Vancouver. Tapos binigyan sila ng envelopes na may lamang pera. For some envelopes, merong note na nakalagay na by 5 p.m. today, spend this however you like for yourself. Tapos dun sa other envelopes naman, similar yung note pero instead of spending it on yourself, the note says by 5 p.m. today, spend it however you like for other people. And finally, magkaiba yung pera sa loob. Merong $20 yung laman, tapos yung iba naman ay $5 lang. So that means yung combination ng envelope and instructions ay may 4 cases. So first is spend this on yourself, $5. Then spend this on other people, $5. Spend this on yourself, $20. And then spend it on other people, $20. So at the end of the day, kinontak nila yung mga volunteers for the experiment and ask ano yung mga binili nila for the money and compare how they were feeling before and after they spend that money. What they found out was yung mga tao may binili para sa ibang tao ay mas masaya compared no morning. Tapos yung mga volunteers na bumili para sa sarili nila, regardless kung $5 or $20, naka-experience din sila ng momentary happiness pero hindi siya umabot hanggang end of the day. Etong mga volunteers na gumastos para sa sarili nila, spending the money on themselves did not make them less happy. Hindi lang talaga nakatulong masyado to uplift the rest of their day. So, as I said before, this experiment was done in a university in Canada. So, para magkaroon ng better understanding yung mga researchers if spending money on other people makes us happier, regardless kung nasa first world country ka or wala, they recreated this experiment in Uganda. Except for the currency, syempre, all the details in the experiment are exactly the same and ayun, they got the same results. Even in a third world country, mas nagiging evident na kapag gagastos tayo para sa ibang tao, mas tumataas yung sense of fulfillment natin compared kung bibili tayo ng additional physical possessions. May 2 points yung experiment, both in the context of Canada and Uganda. The amount spent Whether small or big, it didn't matter as much in contributing to the happiness felt. Ang mahalaga is the fact na ginastos yon para sa iba. Also, the benefits are universal kasi hindi ito linked sa specific culture or demographic. Natural lang daw sa human nature to experience greater joy when we give, regardless kung nakatira ka sa first world or third world na bansa. So to summarize, they realized that pro-social spending increases the feeling of connection, pero hindi sila nagbigay ng concrete examples kasi nagbabago daw ito based on person to person. In other words, yung practice ng pagbibigay ko is different from your practice. So for example, mas comfortable ka magbigay sa mga charity or donations, then you should lean into that more. Pero kung hindi naman, then okay lang din kung yung way of spending mo for others is, for example, ililibre mo yung mga kapatid mo or yung parents mo, okay lang din yun. Ang mahalaga is once you have met your needs, and sige, konting wants na rin and enjoyment for ourselves, try natin maghanap ng paraan to make other people happier and mapaganda yung araw nila by spending some of our money on them. According to the research, the second way money can buy happiness is by purchasing experiences. Unahin na natin yung mga examples like traveling, random street food, food trip, or spending a special day on a nice restaurant. These experiences tend to have a longer lasting effect on our well-being. Ganito yung pagkasabi sa research. The earliest and most well-developed line of research treating money as a resource to be intentionally utilized shows that on average, people experience greater happiness when using money to purchase experiences as opposed to material goods. Honestly, nung nabasa ko to for the first time, medyo na-nosebleed ako, so kailangan ko siyang i-dissect para maintindihan. So basically, pag gumagastos daw tayo for activities or experiences kasama ang ibang tao, it brings more positive emotions before, during, and after the experience. Yung una, which is before consumption, meron daw feeling of anticipation or excitement leading to the event compared to paggastos para sa physical possession, which brings a little bit of excitement din naman but often leads to frustration. Second, during consumption, ang pagbili daw ng experiences ay nagbubunga ng mas intense na positive emotions compared to using a physical possession kahit na may chance na paulit-ulitin natin gamitin yung physical item compared to the experience na isang beses lang. Third, after consumption, itong mga experiences na nabili natin ay less susceptible or less vulnerable sa negative comparison with the experiences ng ibang tao. Ang example ng negative comparison or harmful comparison is, for example, bumili ako ng kotse. Mas malinaw yung sagot sa tanong na mas brand new ba to, mas mahal ba to, or mas advanced ba to compared to, say, kotse ng kaibigan ko or kotse ng random stranger sa kalsada. Yung mga ganitong type of comparison ang destructive or counterproductive sa happiness natin kasi two things. First, dapat hindi tayo mainggit, and second, we should try not to impress the wrong people kasi dapat yung happiness natin hindi dependent kung ano yung view nila sa atin. So going back to my point, after consumption of the activity or the experience, walang room for comparison between my experience and the experience of others kahit na pareho yung travel namin, yung food trip, or yung pinuntahan na restaurant kasi magkaiba yung experiences and memories na na-create namin during the activity. So in effect, mas nape-preserved and hindi masaspoil yung positive emotions na naramdaman natin during those activities. So guys, yung bottom line lang naman nito is if tinatry mong i-detach yung sarili mo sa social comparisons, if sinusubukan mong tanggalin yung tendency na i-compare yung sarili mo sa ibang tao, then buying experiences for yourself and for other people can help you achieve that. Ang third example of using money to buy happiness is by buying time. This practice is the opposite of the second point, which is purchasing experiences. Doon sa research paper, they found out that happiness can be increased not only by purchasing positive and enjoyable experiences, but also by purchasing the removal of negative experiences. Ang example nito is paying someone to clean your house or ipapa-car wash mo yung sasakyan mo. Provided na hindi mo na-enjoy yung mga activities na to kasi meron namang mga tao na na-enjoy or therapeutic para sa kanila yung paglilinis ng bahay or ng kotse. Pwede ring example dito is by moving to a house or an apartment na mas malapit sa office mo to reduce travel time. So generally speaking, if pwede mo i-outsource yung trabaho dahil it does not excite you or improve your mood, then you should consider doing that. Another example is a bit longer term, pero gusto ko pa rin siyang i-share sa inyo kasi it's aligned with what we are trying to achieve in this channel, which is financial freedom. Kapag naayos natin ang personal finances natin and we save and invest correctly and safely, ang benefit nito is a chance for an early retirement. When we reach the point in our lives na pwede na tayo mag-decide to retire early or not, we are essentially buying time kasi hindi na natin kailangan magtrabaho for an active salary. Instead of spending more hours being an employee, mas free na tayo to choose whatever we want to spend our time on. Pwede na natin i-pursue ng full-time yung mga passions natin or mag-start ng another business or travel, basta kung ano pa man yan, achieving this level of financial freedom brings us happiness. By buying time in the form of the examples na na-discuss natin, we can choose to spend our time in improving our personal relationships, nakakababa din ng stress, and mas may time na tayo to think about the more important problems in life like making major life decisions. So another way of thinking about this is kung meron kang chance to outsource or ipagawa sa ibang tao yung isang activity na ayaw mong gawin for 100 pesos per hour, tapos yung natipid mong oras ay gagamitin mo towards a passion project or a side hustle that pays you more than 100 pesos per hour, then dalawa yung naging benefit mo dyan. First, natanggal mo yung negative emotions attached to the negative activity. And then second, mas naging productive ka pa, which leads to more positive emotions. So ayun guys, iba-iba ang financial situations nating lahat. Pero to conclude, this research paper indicates that these three practices are consistent among us. Hindi rin mahalaga kung estudyante ka pa lang, nasa 30s ka na, or malapit ka na mag-retire. Kasi in the pursuit of happiness, it does not matter how much money we have, what matters is how we spend it. So to answer the question at the start of the video, yes, money can buy happiness. We just have to learn how to spend it right. I'll see you on the next one.